So Imran ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನವ?
Good morning, everyone. Textbooks already I have uploaded in that website. If you have checked, okay. For all the modules, there are content from both the modules, both the textbooks. Okay. See, you people have to like fetch particular topic from particular textbook, and you have to study. Or I'm thinking like what I will do is I will merge those two textbook topic wise, module wise, and I will upload a new document. Okay, module one. Once I complete the module one part, what I will do is the syllabus, according to the syllabus from both the textbook, I will fetch the topics and like only necessary things according to the syllabus, and those that are required for the exam, only that much I will just club together, and I will upload as first module notes. Okay. Or by this Sunday I will just do it and I will upload it. See, the thing is first module entirely it just concentrates about how to write the algorithm and what is the basis of analysis, how we are going to do the analysis of the algorithm, and those three asymptotic notations, how we can make you allow, what are the mathematical background for those three basic notation, and given any algorithm, how we have to approach to do the analysis of that particular kind of algorithm. See, all those things what we have studied here, it will be reflecting in the upcoming modules. Okay, so whether you have now a lot of confusions will be there. If someone has started reading the textbook, you would have understood, like you would have faced that situation. Okay, it is very confusing when you start studying a little. Certain things will confuse you, like asymptotic notations. They will confuse you a lot. Order of growth, all those things in the beginning they will confuse you. But since these things reflects in other modules, again we'll be discussing about some basics of these things in all other modules. So by the time you finish everything, you'll understand exactly what analysis you are trying to make, how we are going to approach this topic. Is it clear? If textbook is there, now you have ample amount of time. You might start studying it, because the first module, as I said, it is just theory, and if you finish it completely, easily in the 20 marks, easily you can go score out here, or at least 90% you can score. There will be no option for any deduction. Okay, in this subject, if you try and solve the things properly, easily you can score above 90. Okay, for 100 overall. In internals also for 40, I expect you to score 38, 39, 40, like that much. In main exam also easily you can score a very good number. Okay. Only thing is you have to put a little bit of effort in the beginning, but once you understand the topics, understand the things, it will be very easy at the end. Okay. So yesterday we were like from previous classes, we are talking about analysis of algorithm itself. See, so far I have not classified the algorithms as recursive and non-recursive. Few recursive examples are there in the textbook in the beginning itself, which I have not solved. Okay, we will come to that recursive topic later. First, we shall see what should be the actual approach when you are doing the analysis of non-recursive algorithm. Okay, mathematical analysis, they have given that name. So what should be your approach when given any non-recursive algorithm? What should be your actual approach while doing the analysis? Okay, so these are the few things. Already these things I have explained, but not particularly in the order. So when you are trying to find out time efficiency of any algorithm, first thing is you have to decide on parameter n indicating the input size. See, our analysis mainly depend, any algorithm performance mainly depend on the input size, depends on the input size. So first thing is you have to decide the n. Next, identify the algorithm's basic operation. Yeah, this is again, this is very most important task in your analysis. You have to identify the basic operation that is present in the algorithm. See, so far we have seen few examples. Okay, in next in 1 or 2 slides after, again we will start with the algorithm itself analysis. So I want everyone to identify the basic operations that are present in that algorithm, whatever algorithm that comes ahead. See, everyone should try to understand and identify the basic operation. In exam, they might give you some new algorithm and ask you to do the analysis. First basic thing is you have to identify the basic operation. If you fail in that thing, everything goes wrong. Okay, identification of basic operation is very important in our analysis part of the algorithm. Okay, and determine worst case or average case for the given input. You just try to decide like what case analysis you want to do. And this thing is new for us. Sum the number of basic operations executed. Okay, we have not done this from here. This is a new thing. Sum. Okay, you have to sum up all the basic operations, or if it is one basic operation, you have to sum it up and you have to find out how many times it is executed. Simplify the sum using standard formulas and rules. There are some formulas and rules which I will show in the next slide. You have to simplify that sum using these standard formulas and rules. So these are that some basic summation rules. Okay, summation of I is equal to L indicates lower bound, U is upper bound. Summation of I is equal to L to U, C is a constant, C into A of I. If it is like this, you can take out this constant out of the summation. Okay, that is one rule. C is a constant. That is, if there is 5A, you can take out 5 and summation of A. You can apply the summation to A. And summation of L to U, A plus B. If it is like this, A plus B, you can separately do the summation of A plus summation of B. That is one more. See, remember these rules, okay? In the next part itself, when we are analyzing the algorithm, we will apply summation and we'll be using these rules everywhere. Okay. And a few more formulas. Summation of 1, this is 1. I is equal to L to U. This can be solved like this, which is equal to U minus L plus 1. Okay, upper bound minus L plus 1. See, this formula we will be using in almost all the equations. Okay, when we are doing the analysis, this is very important. When I say S1, you should remember this thing. Okay, summation of L to U, 1 is there, summation of 1. This is a constant number, it may be anything, which means if it is N, what will happen? U minus L plus N. Okay, and one more thing, summation of 0 to N, if I is there, summation of 0 to N, if I is there, summation of I, where limit is 0 to N, then if you solve it, it will become N into N plus 1 by 2. And see, for our algorithm, we are always interested in the higher order term, and constants, we are not worried about constants. So it is N square, which you can write it as theta of N square or big O of N square or omega of N square. Is it clear? So see, in the previous examples also, we have seen these constants will not consider when we are doing the analysis. Okay. So first take one algorithm and let's apply those mathematical analysis steps one by one and try to find out its efficiency. Okay, so this is an algorithm, max element. Algorithm name is max element. It's a simple algorithm. We are trying to determine the largest element in the given array. Array is A of 0 to N minus 1. So N elements are there in the array. Okay, N elements are there in the array. And that is the input. Output is, it should output the largest element that is present in the array. So here, can anyone tell me what is best case situation, worst case situation, and average case situation? See, all of you try to answer this thing. Okay, there is an algorithm, max element. This algorithm deals about finding out the largest element in the array. So, is there any worst case and best case, two separate cases in this algorithm? First, see, yes or no, worst case and best case, two different cases are there in this algorithm. Worst case and best case, whether it is present in this algorithm. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. So if these are the elements of the array, I need to find out the largest element. So is there any worst case, best case, separate kind of cases in this algorithm? See, in this algorithm, there are no worst case, best case and all. Okay, everything is same. Is it clear? Because we have to compare all the elements from first element to the last element. Okay. See, if the array element is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, yes, I know 5 is the largest element, but algorithm will run for all the elements. If the algorithm elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again, algorithm has to run up to the last element. See, whether largest element is present in the beginning or at the end or in between, wherever it may be present, but algorithm will run for all the elements n number of times. So there is no best case or worst case in this example for this algorithm. Is it clear? See, whenever you see an algorithm, first thing is you have to try and find out based on the input size whether the performance of the algorithm will change or not. Okay, more the number of inputs, how the performance of the algorithm will change, whether such cases it will perform best for some situation, worst for in other situation. See, that you need to understand. Any algorithm you are trying to analyze, that thing is very basic. You have to identify the cases, how many cases are possible in this. See, worst case, best case situations, we have seen certain examples in the previous discussions. So in this algorithm, for this particular algorithm, worst case and best case are same. Okay, we have to scan all the elements that are present in the array. So algorithm is simple. First element I have taken it as max, and for I is equal to 1 to n minus 1, because already one element we have in the max variable. So I will run this for loop n minus 1 time. Okay. From the second element, I is equal to 1 means from the second element. If a of I greater than max, okay, if second element is greater than first element, then make that second element as max element. So after the end of this for loop, max variable will have the largest element, so return max. Is it clear? See, if someone, okay, this is for all. If you are feeling that like I'm explaining the algorithms very fast, I'm not explaining it step by step. If you think so, okay, just let me know. Okay, I'm like expecting that these are basic algorithms and you will understand the instructions. Okay, assuming that you have that much of knowledge, I'm just going fast with the, I'm not explaining the program in depth. Okay, so these are basic things and I'm assuming that everyone are following. Okay, I will not explain these things step by step. If this is this, this is this, I will not trace the entire array because this is basic algorithm. So first thing is we have identified there is no worst case and best case. Second point is you have to identify the basic operation in this algorithm. Can anyone I want you people to identify the basic operation in this algorithm. What is the basic operation in this algorithm? Okay, there are, you can identify 2 or 3 arithmetic instructions in this algorithm. So which one is basic? Very core of the algorithm. See, reply fast. Basic operation. See, only few people are replying. What about others? Basic operation in this algorithm. So I can see 2 types of operations you people have identified. One is this compare operation. If a of I greater than max, okay, some of you have replied this is the basic operation, and few people have replied max is equal to a of I. So this is the basic operation. See, among 50 members, I have got 2 answers. This is first one is this is the basic and this is the basic. So are these two both are basic operation or any one is basic operation? So in this algorithm, again, yeah, both are correct. Okay, we can say that both are basic operations, but which one is executed max number of times? See, which instruction is, when you come across this kind of situation, both are correct. Okay, both are basic operation, both are being performed again and again. So which one is performed max number of times compared to these two things? This comparison, a of I greater than max, will be performed more number of times when you take max is equal to a of I. So in this case, what we will do is we will consider a of I greater than max as the basic operation. Okay, in this case, among these two things, we will consider a of I greater than max as basic operation. So a of I is the basic operation. And then let us denote C of n, the number of times this comparison is executed. Okay, we need a term. C of n, total number of times this C of I greater than max is executed. So C of n is equal to, so it is inside this for loop. So where this for loop runs from 1 to n minus 1 times. So this operation, only one instruction we are taking, one basic operation is executed 1 to n minus times, n minus 1 times. Is it clear? So that is the basic operation. Only one instruction we have considered as basic. That one instruction, we have to represent it in the summation form. See, from this point of view, point onwards, we'll be using the summation technique. Okay. So this one basic operation is executed 1 to n minus 1 times. That is n times. Okay. So this can be solved. Okay. We have seen those formulas. Okay. S1. I have mentioned S1 formula, particularly S1. What happens in S1? Upper bound minus lower bound, that is n minus 1 is upper bound minus lower bound is 1 plus whatever value is there, 1. So this, okay, this if you solve, upper bound is n minus 1 minus lower bound is 1 plus 1. So if you solve it, what you will get? This summation of this entire thing, you will get it as n minus 1. Okay. So ultimately C of n is equal to what you will get? You will get n minus 1. C of n is equal to n minus 1 we will get. Then ignoring the what? Ignoring the constant, what you can say? It belongs to what it should be. Is it big O of n or theta of n or omega of n? What it has to be, this final thing. Okay, you can represent it in any way, because as we said, there are only one case, worst case, everything is same. So n minus 1 you got, which belongs to theta of n, or you can write big O of n here. Okay, that is the best case or worst case analysis of this particular algorithm. Okay, in exam they may give you this kind of one algorithm, any algorithm, simple code they will give. Okay, you have to be careful about the for loop. Okay, we will solve few examples, so it will we shall try to cover max possible cases, so you'll get the idea how to find out this thing. Okay, so example 2. In this example, uniqueness, unique element in the array. We have an array A which has got n elements. So we will return true if all the elements are different inside the array, if all the elements are unique. If there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if everything is different, we'll return true. If 1, 1, 2, 3, 5 is there, we shall return it false. And first thing, basic thing. Now tell me how many cases are there? Worst case, best case. What is the best case here? What is the worst case here? What is the worst case? What is the best case? What case analysis are you going to do in this for this particular algorithm? Okay, take elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to find out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to find out all the elements are unique or not. Take few example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. See, definitely there is different best case, there is worst case in this situation. Worst case, best cases are there. Okay. You consider different sort of elements in the array and tell me best case and worst case. See, first thing is, yeah. See, if all the elements are different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, then you can say it's unique. Assume that 1, 1, 2, 3, 5 is there. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Our array is 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Then we'll compare first two elements and we'll stop the algorithm itself. Why we will start? because we'll say that array elements are not unique. So that is the best case. Okay, if first two elements are same, then we will, it's a failure. Okay, it will be best case. Is it clear? Then if all the elements are unique, then we will have to check for all the values. If last two elements are same, again you have to search all the elements, compare all the elements, and then finally you have to say it's a failure case itself. Again, elements are not unique. Again, you have to compare. So best case is there, worst case is there. So when these two situation is there, what we will do is best case is very simple thing and it's a failure itself. Unique elements are not unique. So we shall try to find out the worst case situation here. Okay, we will find out do analysis for worst case situation. And next thing is identify the basic operation. So what is the basic operation here? Only one operation is there, so easily you can identify the basic operation. Comparison operation, a of I is equal to a of j. So that is the basic operation. So this is the basic operation. Next thing is you have to represent it in the form of summation. C of n is equal to how you are going to represent it. So when you represent it, you have to be very careful. There are two for loops here. Okay, for I is equal to 0 to n minus 2, for j is equal to 1 plus n, I plus 1 to n minus 1. So two for loops are there. Okay. So this if condition is present inside these two for loops. So this will be like this. Representation will be like this. All of you observe here. So this is our first representation. C of n is equal to that comparison operation will run. Okay, only one basic operation is there. So one basic operation, and it will run. Okay, two times. Two for loops are there. Okay, summation. Why two summations? Because this basic operation is present inside two for loops. Inner for loop, okay, runs from I plus 1 to n minus 1 times. See, I have not explained the algorithm. Does anyone want me to explain this algorithm? Okay, it is pretty simple. First element and second element we'll go on comparing those two elements. Okay. So inner for loop runs from I plus 1 times to lower bound is I plus 1 to n minus 1 times. So this basic operation. And these things, this entire thing will run from 0 to n minus 2 times. Okay, this entire thing, this outer for loop, that is from 0 to n minus 2 times. And we should start applying that equation, that rules, and we have to go on solving this thing. This circle, I plus 1, n minus 1. So I plus 1 is lower bound, n minus 1 is upper bound. I'm trying to solve this first summation. Okay, outer summation will be as it is. This inner first summation I'm going to solve. N minus 1 minus lower bound is I plus 1 plus 1. This 1 is there, so plus 1. So if you solve this, what you will get? N minus 1 minus I. Okay, outer summation is as it is. This first summation I have solved. N minus 1 minus I plus 1. You'll get n minus 1 minus I. Okay, you'll get this. So once you solve this, see these two, how we can write n minus 1 as one part, minus I as another part. You can, that also property you have seen. So summation 0 to n minus 2, n minus 1 minus summation 0 to n minus 2, I. Same thing, I have just separated it and written it like this. And you know that summation of I is equal to 0 to n minus 2 I means that can be written as n minus 2 into n minus 1 divided by 2. Okay, this thing can be written as like this. And after writing that, n minus 1 is taken as common. Okay, it is taken as common, and entire thing is written like this. So if you solve this, see, if you solve this, you will get the values. Mathematically, see, I'm writing, I have skipped few solution steps, but when you are solving it, you have to solve it step by step, okay? Because these problems will be asked for 6 or 8 marks. So in that situations, you cannot write them directly, but only substitution and separation, those things. You apply those formulas and you can go on substituting it. Finally, we will arrive at 1 by 2 n square. And you already know, like we will omit the constants. We are just interested in n. So it is n square, which is equal to, see, we were talking about worst case. So you write it as big O of n square. Okay, not theta of n square. You can write it as big O of n square for this algorithm. See, in textbook also, like directly he has given like this, but when you are solving it, try to write the conclusion also and do it step by step. For each and every step, you just try to end with the conclusion. Okay. One more example, matrix multiplication. And here we are talking about matrix multiplication where matrix size is n by n, not m cross n. Okay. So equal size 2 by 2 or 3 by 2 matrix. We are talking about multiplication of matrix of equal order. Okay, so input is A and B matrix. Output is the third matrix C. C is equal to A into B. And matrix multiplication, you know. Okay, there are 3 for loops, 1, 2, and 3 for loops. Okay, 3 for loops are there. And easily you can say this is the basic operation. Okay, this is the basic operation in this algorithm. So that operation will, this operation will repeat how many times? It is inside 3 for loops. Okay, so one summation for this, another summation for this, and one more summation for this. Okay, outer summation 0 to n minus 1, inner summation, middle summation 0 to n minus 1, and final summation 0 to n minus 1. So this is the basic operation 1. Okay, here n is not there, so 1. This will repeat 3 times. Okay, can anyone tell me what will be the, okay, here worst case, best case, those cases will arise? How many cases will be there in this matrix multiplication? How many cases will be there? Matrix multiplication. First. Okay, n into n, 2 matrix, you have to multiply all the elements with each other. Okay, no best case, no worst case, or everything you can say it as only one case. So this is the basic operation. Okay, this is the basic operation. And can anyone tell me what it will be? Is it big O of what? You see, you can guess. Okay, all this basic operation will run 3 times. So it will be, see, easily you can guess this thing. Okay, first basic operation, innermost for loop 0 to n minus 1 time 1. Okay, first operation. And as I said, 3 for loops are there which will run 0 to n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 1. This one basic operation. So this basic operation 1, see, again, detailed solution is not mentioned. But in exam, if they ask, you have to solve it in detail. Okay, you have to solve this thing in detail. N cube is the final value. N cube is the final value means it will be big O of n cube or theta of n cube. Yeah, theta of n cube you can write. Is it clear? Okay, final algorithm. See, quickly someone has to tell me what this algorithm is about. What is this algorithm? Input is a positive decimal integer. Assume 4. Okay, 4 or 5 or 6. N value is 4 or 5 or 6. What this algorithm is doing? Very fast. See, I'm not even asking the analysis of the algorithm. I'm just asking what is this algorithm? No, yeah, you are close. Okay, someone has replied. Not even, no. See, return count. It is returning count. Okay, it is returning count. Always see what it is returning. Okay, count it is returning. What count? See, all of you mark the attendance also. We are running out of time. Fast. Also give me the answer. See, some people will reply for attendance very fast than the answer. See, what algorithm it is? Okay. See, more like few people have guessed it. It is the binary algorithm. That is, if you give the decimal number, it will count the binary digits. If I say 4, the binary value is 100. So how many digits are there?